elevation. There's like 8 billion stages at the intersection. The and B one called elevation, and I want to get out of the way. First of all, that to get tickets, what's the best way to do this? I want to hit this as much as possible.
The easiest way, if you want to do it from the comfort of your cell phone or home, is online, laughfestgr.org. You can find the show as Rockin' Homegrown Jam. Otherwise, if you want to save on ticket fees, just pay straight for a ticket, $20. You can go to DeVos box office, Van Andel box office, or Laugh Fest Central, and it's 120 Ionia Avenue between Pepino's and Tavern on the Square.
Very easy.
I'm humping tickets here.
You're like a radio guy.
This is this week.
There's a lot
No,
of
that's
options.
excellent. That's really great. I mean,
you.
a lot of times people just let that shit slide and they do it all lazy and weak and shit, and then nobody goes and buys the fucking tickets. That's
No one
why.
does. We want to fuck some tickets here.
Yes.
What we want to do.
Lifelong dream.
Okay, so now Adam approached me about doing this. And
Yes.
that was a few weeks ago. They said,
In
"Hey,
person,
man,"
on the
he said, we want to show up and do the." You did some media
Yes.
today. What'd you do today? Did you do radio, TV? What was it?
We talked to your old friend Michelle McCormick.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, not on
She's
the
not my
air.
friend.
no.
There is zero friendship there.
What about my wife? You
Zero.
like my wife,
I love your wife.
but she was in sales, so who
Oh,
cares?
the sales staff. Out of all the radio stations I've worked at, the sales staff at Cumulus, I love them the most.
Okay.
They're all very, very good. The programming side, every single one of those people can go straight to hell.
I love it.
No, we did a Facebook Live with her this morning.
You did?
Yeah, we did
Okay,
that.
good.
And then we're doing.
Now, wait a minute. Now, were you in the studio with her?
We were in the studio's
So-
Break room, technically.
Okay. So does
Things
that
have
mean
really
Tony
gone
Gates
downhill
walked
since you
in?
left, Zane.
Yeah, I guess so. As Gates walked in, these people, he probably didn't even know who you were.
We did get told to
Well,
keep it down a couple
normally,
times.
Yeah.
So they thought a party was
Don't
going on in the
answer
break room.
any of these questions. They're just jokes because I'm bitter.
Yes.
I don't work in radio. I wish I did, and I'm an asshole. These are all. It all leads to the
radio
perfect storm.
schmadio, man. Podcasting's where it's at.
Whatever.
It was good. It was good to do a little bit of press. We got tomorrow. I think PBS WGVU is doing a 10 years celebrating Laugh Fest. So I'm on with actually this is your friend Brian Kelly. I'm doing a show
I
with
love
him.
that guy.
Yeah, I love him too.
That
So
dude, man, is freaking sweet.
Yeah.
wildly talented.
He's
Yeah.
very, very
Yeah.
talented.
Have you any of you guys been on his podcast? Has he invited you on his podcast?
I don't think any of us are. He's got the best chance.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
78th
He's
on
good.
the list, and Degi and I are around 779.
He's really, really good. I mean, I listened to him. He interviewed people that I had no idea who they were.
Yeah.
And now in my brain, they're household names. There's a
Dyer,
lady
you
named,
mean? You're like, who the fuck is this guy?
No, I love Dyer, but that was a good talk because they like have a shared history that go way back, so it was
Right.
good to hear them. But he interviewed this lady who I'd never heard of. Her name was Gracie Harkema. Are you familiar with who she is?
Yep, I
She
am.
is
Yeah.
absolutely so
She's-
dynamic. I
yeah.
fell in love with this woman.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was involved in that whole founders thing, and she's the one who told founders to go fuck off when that whole
boy.
thing hit the fan. Man, that was a hell of a move on her
You're
part.
totally right, though, that there's so many guests that he's had on
Yeah.
that I've never, ever
He
heard of.
is
It's
really, really
been
good.
and then it's been amazing. He actually delves into it. Now I love it, too, that he's taking it on the road.
Grand
and
Rapids
actually
finest,
bringing
yeah.
some
Is he re-
podcasts. Yeah, he did Justin Willem in L.A. in his backyard.
Ah,
And so he's done some podcasting in L.A. with some talent and so on and so forth. So it's
really cool.
What a life.
Really
Grand
cool.
Rapids done right.
Okay, so that's great, but we want to focus on this show because,
Yes,
as
sir.
I understand it, Joe gave me some of the how it works, but it's a blending of the band, it's a blending of comedy, it's a blending of showbiz, and I mean, how else would you describe this thing? I mean,
Straightforward. It's just something that doesn't really seem to get done by anybody. But
Right.
the Legal Immigrants come out and we rip our set for like 15 minutes or so, and then Matt comes up and kind of gives a quick run of the show, which starts with jokes and ends with a live performance by each comedian with TLI as the backing band. And then after it's all said and done, we do a big grand finale. There's little surprises we always throw in every year. It's one of a kind.
okay, so jokes with the band performing?
No, so
Is that what you just said?
That'd be great.
I get in there halftime and say, "Hey, what do you get with a priest, a rabbi?"
It's great. A lot of
Take a
rim
drum
shots.
roll.
A lot of rim
No,
shots.
they'll go off stage, hang out, watch us do our sets,
Okay.
and then they kind of know where we're gonna end as far as our last joke. Then they'll come back on stage. Then we do the basically live karaoke with them as the.
Okay, that's what I saw. Dave
band,
Dyer
yeah.
doing something with you guys, and that would had to. It was a video that I saw of him doing this thing with that. He looked completely out of place, but it looked fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
God, yes. That's the beauty of all of
yeah.
it, is that it's kind of, a comedy show a lot of the time. It's like, okay, sit down for 2 hours and shut the fuck up and don't use the bathroom unless you want to get picked on. And so
People are
the beauty
looser.
of this, is like you get a little bit rock. You get 15 to 20 minutes of the legal immigrants right off the bat. So you're starting to roll in, you're getting excited. And then they basically are like, it's just the tease off the bat to basically be like, this is not only a rock show, but also a comedy show. And that effect too. So they bring me
Right.
up as the first comic and MC, explain the show, 10-minute sets to 12-minute sets by each comic. Legal immigrants jumping on and off stage, and it just, I don't know, it feels like a variety show in some capacity.
It's so much. The atmosphere and everything is so much different. There's more energy in the room. It's hard to describe. You have to be there to understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No,
But most comedy shows, you show up and immediately they're like, all right, shut the fuck up. Like, laugh. But this almost gives people an opportunity maybe to talk or get loud and have fun. And a lot of people want to stand.
Yeah.
Because it's more of a rock show than it is a comedy show.
have
if
you
I'm
ever
being honest.
considered? Let's just do this for the rest of our lives.
No,
let's
we
get
we,
together
we,
and take
we
this
want
on
to
the
bring
road.
this on the road.
Well, that's what I'm
100%. That's the
asking.
goal. Yeah.
Because I've never heard of
We're hoping
anybody
that this
do this.
podcast will launch our
you
careers.
go.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't think that we are going to be
Come on.
successful. I would love to help in any way, shape, or form. But, I mean, I love it because a lot of times you see a lot of ensemble casts and people will get together and take their, like the Creeps with Kids tour, but it's still just comedy. It's
Right.
just guys coming on. Now they have a nice little thing, like a Q&A at the end. But, I mean, this is way different. And if you can tell because you can tell the energy difference
yeah.
right away, right?
For sure.
I
The
think-
excitement level that goes into it too. The show actually originally started as just the Homegrown show in year one of Laugh Fest, and it was just us comedians doing sets, and it's fun
Yeah.
to perform with your friends because you rarely get to do it. But then by the end of it, it just kind of came like stagnant of just like, okay, we've all worked together here for all this. And so Joey was kind enough 5 years ago to basically be like, we always wanted to collab and do something between comedy and rock,
Yeah.
and we always talked about it, and then came up with this concept together. And I think it just works because I think you can answer this on behalf of the band, but you guys are having fun too, in the sense of maybe not performing maybe your favorite cover songs in some capacity, but it is a little bit of stuff in a different direction. For
Yeah,
you guys
no,
as
my
well,
guys
too.
hate this show. They absolutely love
Really?
it. Yeah, it's like pulling.
Why?
teeth. No, they
Come on.
They like
I
it.
don't know
I
you
do
well
that.
enough. I don't know what's kidding and not. I'm like, holy shit, he's serious.
No, they were little bitches about it at first. It's like, dude, this is for charity. This is so out of the box from anything we
Right.
do, and it's like, make the most of it. It's fun, It's like we don't usually play 15-minute sets, so it's like we're looking through it like, oh shit, we played that 2 years ago. Let's not do that because some of these people, this is the only time they ever see us, so we want to give them more than four songs,
So do you feel like you have to play a song that has humor in it, or do you go out of your way to do that, or you just play songs that you like to play?
Whether or not it has humor, the comics will accidentally add it.
Yeah.
It's because I mean, half of the motivation was to just make fun of ourselves and have
Okay.
it. I think that's why people like it.
What other comedians are there? I know, like I mentioned, Dave Dyer is he going to be involved in this too?
It
yeah.
is.
Yes.
Josh Ortega and Alan True.
All the big great local names. That's
Heavy
awesome.
hitting, baby. Heavy hitting.
That's
for
exciting.
Rock
And
Homegrown.
the most fun part is the shock on the audience's faces when the songs start, because we try to, the only kind of rough parameter we use for picking the songs that they cover is it's got to be something everybody knows.
Right.
Yep.
You don't want no deep cut, because everybody's like, oh, all right, we already got this hack up here singing, and now it's
Also, the mood of the song. I mean, we probably want to avoid doing any downer songs. Although the song Alan did last year was technically a downer, but when you bring Brian Vander Ark
of
out,
the
it
Verb Pipe.
becomes an upper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He did a cameo, and it was fun too because actually
Yeah.
we did the show last year, and we had music videos playing in the background, and it's when Brian Vander Ark had that really bleached blonde hair,
Okay.
with
The
like
90s,
a
man.
emo cut to it, and Alan put it on. And Brian Vander Ark just came and stood side stage immediately when we started a song, and he's like, he's got the fucking wig on, and he had to go on stage with his younger self on that and sing the chorus
His
with,
younger-
with the Vietnamese man that should not be singing his song. So that
That's
was
awesome.
Very good.
he Vander Ark. I just saw a video, and I've been I forgot where I saw, but I've been trying to find it since. I think he was at that listening room at
Maybe, yeah.
Studio C, and he was doing "I Am the Walrus," the Beatles song "I Am the Walrus," and with somebody had like the violin, and it was God,
That's incredible.
That's a lot of balls if you're gonna bust out "I Am the Walrus."
I love that
in
song.
front of a crowd, and he nailed it. I really love that man.
We won't be doing that at Homegrown, but we're going to do some good shit.
Good.
That's the beauty of it too. Is not only is it different in the sense of what you get in terms of comedy and music in one show, but each comedian is slightly different as well too. Yep. Josh Ortega's a ton of left turns. I'm a ton of arrogance. Adam's a ton of mad. Alan's a ton of kids, and Dyer's a ton of old. So you get a lot of different mixes of all of this. And Joe is great as well too, because obviously he's funny in his own right, but then he kind of gets to play every lead singer on every one of these songs, because frankly we all need Joe to make this happen. And then even you know, Kevin, Marcus, and Ben, the rest of the bandmates in TLI, they also get to kind of play it up too based upon the bands that they're covering and such as well.
And they've been getting a lot more into that recently too. You know, I guess I should only say, you know, because I'm sure, never mind, they don't watch anything that we promote for our band. They're not fucking watching this or listening to this. They just show up.
Okay, so you look at, now can you officially say this is a 10-year-old show or is this a 5-year-old show?
Well, you know, it's kind of both, but yeah, I'd say it's a 5-year-old show because it really only became successful once my band joined it.
Okay,
Exactly.
all right. So you guys were with it way back?
Yeah.
Okay, so you think about year one to year now. This is night and
incredible.
day, right? This is
For a while, we had like a spinning wheel on stage where we'd spin it, and whatever it landed on, you'd have to tell a joke about that. I don't.
Random set.
Matt-
Like a random
Nice.
premise.
Matt was drinking heavily.
That was
year.
actually that was really fun. So fuck off.
sounds
That was really
fun.
good.
sounds like a
That was
fun
a nice
idea
thing.
in
Yeah.
principle. I
It was
like
great.
the idea.
Let's bring it back.
This is gonna turn into me and Degi getting into a fight by the end of this podcast.
He gets all offended.
Hey, you son of a bitch.
That wheel was great.
You
I
already-
still have that wheel.
This is
just
okay.
went over
You wanna
this.
talk about
I
this?
do
You wanna
angry.
talk about this? This is the guy that 1 year of the show. This is not 3 shots downstairs before the show. Got
Yikes.
blackout drunk
3 shots
when he
in
got
one
on
glass.
stage.
Oh, God.
This is at the 3rd floor of McFadden's at that time because this was a show. It was a free show.
Class.
This was the Homegrown show, free show. And he's so drunk that when he would tell these jokes and tell the audience to fuck off and die, then he would get mad at them when they would go, oh. It was unbelievable.
no.
But this is this is
You
how far the
survived, though.
show's
You
come.
survived.
My mom was there. Yeah, it was fantastic.
It was awesome. It was one of the more memorable
I
moments.
don't
of all
remember,
of
but it happened. Yeah.
Just seeing
Holy shit.
my grandma's face in the front row of 20 Monroe when like you and Ortega were saying these nasty, awful things,
awesome.
and she just sitting there, just sweet as hell. Just like,
Did you warn her that, hey, Grandma, this is terrible? She's got to know, right?
She can handle anything.
Okay,
but
good.
it still doesn't
It's
make
funny.
it any easier to see your grandma listening to these guys. We're not actually like that, Grandma.
Oh, my God.
Just the comics.
Okay, so how much, when it comes to the show itself, you guys, I mean, you've been doing this long enough. Is it, do you let go of the preparation? Have you like, hey, we know what the hell we're doing now. We
Hell
don't need to
no.
prepare
No,
as much. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
if anything, it's become more important. One of Matt's many strong suits. This dude is more organized than anybody.
Very
else.
organized.
Which is good
PowerPoints,
because I'm
everything.
the exact opposite, and I think a lot of us are.
Okay.
To the
But
point
this
where
dude-
I got pissed off when we got to our initial meeting and he didn't have all the things printed and
Everything's
stapled.
printed
Like an
out
outline.
in
Yeah,
different
a whole
colors.
outline. Yeah,
Normally.
colors.
You're a radio guy.
I mean,
you
gotta
are a
stay
radio
on it.
producer.
I feel, dude, I'm RZA and I have a Wu-Tang clan to work with here right now. It's literally 9 of us, so you got to be like, boys, come on, you know.
well,
so-
you got to have one guy to do
It's-
that, or a
He's
guy
got
or a
the
girl.
show
Yes.
down to like the second.
Yeah.
time.
Like, in and out. All right,
Yes.
this is
We were
Yeah.
talking about that before
And
you guys
it's-
got here
Yeah.
because you guys were
And-
15 minutes late.
Thank God, because I don't think the show's successful if he's not like that.
no,
No,
for
we
sure.
Take
And
it
that's the
super
beauty
serious.
of it too, is everyone takes it seriously. As much as we fuck around and all this, it's fun. Like tomorrow is our final dress rehearsal, and we do a full run through of the show from start to back. Besides,
No matter what.
comedians are not doing the 10 minutes, but we're doing our final joke, so all the Legal Immigrant Band members know, okay, we got to be side stage for this, and then we run through each of the songs, and we want it to fuck up because then we feel the uncomfortableness it is.
Right.
But instead of like other rehearsals that we've done where we go, okay, take it from the second chorus, we're running it all the way through so you can feel the uncomfortableness, go all the way through to the end, and then we go, okay, that sucked there.
Right.
We need to amp this up. We need to run this better. And that's why, God, from year one to year now, we took it this serious. But then as we've continued to hopefully get some, word of mouth and compounding interest on the show, we've taken it more and more
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah,
Well, it sounds
we also
like it.
need
I
to
like
improve,
that.
too.
Yeah.
Like it's like we didn't want to give the same show again.
Yeah.
you know,
Right,
we got to
right.
figure out the improvements. We do a debrief after every year, and we found out what was working, what wasn't working, and what we need to do differently, to make it a better experience for everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
And we found it. I mean, it's a lot of and just like we talked about before, it's like there can't be a second. You can't let somebody have the opportunity to look at their phone, or get distracted or think
fuck
about any
no.
of this. You need to be
Shit.
right in front of their face. They've got a lot of funnier shit on their pocket, than
They're
what
gonna-
we're doing.
Yeah,
That was
dog
one of
on
the
a
beauties that,
skateboard. Dog on a skateboard.
Look at this.
Fucking hate.
That was actually one of the beauties, I think, from year 2 to year 3. Joey's like, the legal immigrants need to be on stage, and we need to play you guys on. There was a downtime from the time that when we would say, okay, you guys ready? Give it up for Adam Degi. And then it would be that walk
Right,
on
you want
of
no-
like a 15 seconds
no
of
dead
silence and a
time.
little bit of applause.
Yeah.
And he's like, we need to play him on. So in the last 2 years here now,
We
we've
did
been
like
playing
last
'em
year.
on.
There was a theme. It was we did TV theme songs. So we did 15 15-second snippets of that. This year it's going to be a surprise too, but it's something else really cool.
So when you describe it like, okay, in those rehearsals where you're, you don't have it perfectly down, right? But you're getting there pretty close by the
I
time
mean, a lot
your
of these
last
guys
rehearsal.
have had I've always been on top of it from day one, but there's a lot of the guys who can't remember their lyrics very well.
Or switch their song
Yeah.
in my fucking
He's switching the
basement.
song up until literally like
Hey, we've
sound
got
check.
like 2 hours left to
day
rehearse
of the
the
show.
Hey, what do you think about REM? No.
I love
Wow.
it. Actually, one year he got so many songs rejected. 4 of his 10 minutes on stage for comedy were basically just him going over all the songs that got rejected and being like, "Fuck you, legal immigrants. That's a good song."
Yeah,
Oh, I wish we had a list of all these. Like,
it's
what gave you any impression that anybody wants to hear this song?
Yeah.
So with this show coming Friday, how much time passes before you start planning for the next year? I mean, how much? What's the lead up to get this show? Because it sounds like it's a very involved show, and you're all very
Typically,
prepared.
Yeah, we've got together in January every year.
I mean,
to
in,
start the
in all
show up
honesty,
again.
I would hope that we do something this summer on the road.
That's the
outside of
goal.
Grand Rapids.
Now that we've gotten to this point, I think that's the goal. And so
Okay.
we're hoping to continue to do that. And, the beauty of it is, too, is that it allows for a comedian. So, like, if we went to Detroit, right? And
Yeah.
you have friends that are comedians in Detroit. So have them be able to do a legal immigrants cover song here with them and then be able to get them and hopefully enjoy the fact that they get to step outside of their lane and then also bring some of a local audience to it as well.
What is there a goal for one of these a month then? I mean, if you,
Probably more like 4 a year.
for a year,
thanks a
okay.
quarter.
So you start
re-
out
it's-
maybe
it- we gotta
Kalamazoo.
respect their
Lansing.
It really
schedule,
comes
too,
down
you
to the band.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I can't speak for Matt, but I feel like the comics would do this every weekend if we could.
Sure.
It's
I would do. I mean, if it made money,
I mean,
I'm doing it right now.
I know I'm biased, but as a
Come to
comic,
the show.
It's legitimately the funnest show that I'll do all year.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a
By far.
How long have you all known each other to be in this place?
Degi since the show, Matt since we were freshmen in high school.
No, we met at Shots way back when you used to wear backwards ball caps. And
Oh
look
no,
like Fred
you were
Durst.
there.
Yeah.
Aw. That was one day.
Yeah.
I wore a red hat.
No, that's
One-
you
I don't
forever.
wear hats. I don't wear red. One day I wore a red hat, and I guess I'm Fred Durst.
He called him
for the
Fred
rest of my
Durst,
life.
the backwards red hat.
God.
Yeah, these guys are high school football buddies, man.
Yeah, I was talking with Joe about his time at Central Michigan University, and you were what position did you play?
Wide receiver.
You were a wide receiver, so you were teammates with Antonio Brown. We were talking about some of the things about growing up with that guy or playing football with that guy. Good times.
You
Lot
got,
of
you got
fun.
Dan Lefevre and J.J. Watt here,
And
too.
and JJ.
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Tried to make him a tight end.
Man, well, I tell you what, this show is going to be excellent. I want more and more people to go to it, and I'm encouraged by all the work that you've done because it sounds just fantastic when you guys are prepared for this, and this is
a
going to be
blast.
huge.
That's the beauty of, to Degi's, he said I'm organizing it all, but everyone, it's fun because we got everyone gets real serious about it. When we're all fucking around, Joey will be like, guys, we got to get this down. We got to get this, and it's fun to watch all of us get serious. And then the reward for last year when Degi gets off stage after singing Hootie and the Blowfish and destroying the room. It's just like that reward. That
Standing
hug
O.
of when
Really?
you got off the stage.
Standing
Can you sing?
Unlimited pussy.
Wow, yeah. I didn't.
Yeah,
Now,
really.
can you sing or would you just sell it?
They did great.
I'm
No,
okay, yeah.
unbelievable.
You really did well.
Incredible, Yeah.
That song, you got Darius
should've brought
Rucker
my
down.
guitar.
He's got Darius
it's just
Rucker
Hootie.
down.
It's just something you've always just channeled your inner Hootie. You
Yeah,
can do
man.
it.
I've always been a black man.
Well, we
That's how he ended his set. He said, "I've always been a black man at heart."
because he
He's
was.
probably more black than Darius Rucker. I mean, that guy, seriously.
Yeah,
Do you own any cowboy hats?
I do not.
Well, all right, that settles that.
Oh, man. Well, okay. Again, how do people get tickets if they're just tuning in on the Facebook Live? If it's podcast, pre-record, obviously, you can just go back and look at it in the show notes. But please, somebody tell these people how they can see this show.
Yep, Laugh Fest Central. You can get a physical ticket. Otherwise, if you the band, the Legal Immigrants, if you message the page, I'll give you the Venmo handle. I suppose I could do it right now too. At Joey Bock, JoeyBock, $20 a piece. You want to like throw a little extra in there for the homie? Go for it. But then I'll put your name on the guest list for Will Call, and you'll be able to skip the line because half of our video, well, not half of it, but a good chunk of our video was just showing how many people were waiting outside to get tickets for us last year. It was
That's
around the block.
beauty. That's the beauty is that actually writing the rundown here for this year's show.
Oh.
I was beauty to be like the 7 p.m. show, and I was like 7 to 7:10. Hold the room for line, and
Yeah,
that
it's-
typing that made me feel like literally.
It's crazy because
strands of trust
first year
here
we did
growing.
the show was like what 200 seats.
Well, it was a Tuesday night for free on the third floor catering
It was
room of
free?
the bar.
Right, and
Wow.
then Pyramid Scheme's like 250, and
The
now
Legal
I mean,
Immigrants
last
got
year
paid.
we sold like 900 tickets, so it's grown every year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's got to be really rewarding, knowing
Yeah.
that something that came from your brains has now become this.
Yeah.
Who thought of it first? I mean, was it just like a group effort? Were you guys
We've
like
wanted
these
to talk.
join
These two collab.
Just because like we've been friends forever, and
Just
we've
he'd
always
come to my
talked about-
comedy shows, and I'd go to his Legal Immigrant shows and stuff, and it was just always like, we
You-
got to collab.
you could theoretically change the entire format of how comedy shows are
Right,
presented
and
if
this
you are
is the
successful
only way
doing it.
that the two will work because I've opened for just did comedy in front of a band.
Oh yeah.
Terrible idea.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Awful idea.
Yeah, I've heard about comics like you see, like
If people know going in, like some asshole's just gonna get up there without
Right.
an instrument and say stuff.
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Is
Excuse
this
me,
the sound
guys.
guy? Get this guy to fuck
Well,
up.
it's amazing to me because Jim Brewer opens up for Metallica.
Right, but
And he
he's
does the
Jim
whole thing.
Brewer.
Well, exactly. And he's doing a backstage cam, and it's
Yeah.
a lot of goat boy and yelling and screaming.
yeah,
God
yeah.
bless him. That's amazing that he can be able to do that. But like the fact back in the day, like I think his name's Mitch Shore, the guy that used to run the Comedy Store, not Mitzi, but
Okay.
he used to open for Elvis. And I think that's a different crowd back then when you're really going dressed up to a show. Not some guy like, fuck you, buddy. Bring on the cover band at Korn, which is probably at 20 Minute Live here in about 2 months.
Yeah. I was
Corn on the
actually supposed to sit
corn
in
on
for
the cob.
bass at that show.
They call themselves corn on the cob.
There
Yeah.
we go.
All right. I want to thank you folks for checking this out. Go see these guys Friday. They worked
Friday.
very hard to make this show happen. So, all right. Is there anything else you want to say? There's probably
I
about
will-
100
I will
people
say
watching.
If you don't get tickets here before the show, there will be tickets available at the door of the venue day of show.
There might be. There
Yeah.
might not
Yeah,
be.
there might not
Right.
be.
Right.
Yes, there you go. That's terrible promotion by myself. But
Don't worry about it. We're not hard up at all. Just if you
Get
want to
tickets
make
now.
it, you can make it.
All right. Thank you for coming to see me. I
thank
appreciate
Eric.
you guys.
Appreciate you having
That
us
was
on,
weird,
man.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
That was weird.
You're talking to them, talking to us. Hell, I don't know.
All right. That's